Jesse, you just let me know when you're ready. You have 12 people on.
We can go ahead and get started. We have a packed agenda today.
Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. On this cold February the 16th. Much colder than what we're used to, I can say that, but glad for the option of us having this opportunity to have a Zoom meeting instead of being in person, because we probably wouldn't have this many people on had we had to be meeting in person today. So thank you all for being on. I hope everyone has electricity. Obviously you do, or you wouldn't be on this laptop. And I hope you're all staying warm. Everybody has plenty of good food to eat and staying warm, and our electricity stays on. With that being said, I know if anyone does have a need or know a need in the community, that probably Eric or Jesse would want you to reach out to them and see if they can provide some support. You're welcome, Eric. Just want to make sure you have plenty of work to do. So again, thank you all for joining us for this meeting today. We'll start out with the old business. Again, Jesse reminded everyone to make sure that you put your name and email address in the chat box so that they can keep record of the attendance. In your email, you should have received the minutes from the January meeting. So we'll take time for you to take a look at those. If you haven't, Melanie, thank you. I figured you would put those up for us. So with that being said, the meetings are in front of you at this time. So if you haven't had time to look at those, take time to read those. And then if I could get a motion for someone to approve those minutes.
Tabitha, motion.
Okay, Sean Noblett made a motion. Can we get a second?
I'll second it, Laurel.
Okay, Laurel Stone gave a second. Okay, we have our Health Council update today. Is Sophia on?
Sophia is not available, but she did include the one-page update that you've got. And the big thing we want everyone to know is that there's been a time change for COVID testing at the Franklin County Health Department. Today, of course, it's not open because of the weather, but it's 8:30 to 10:30 for testing at the health department.
Okay, and that was Beth Delaney from the Chattanooga office giving that information.
Yes.
Okay, we'll give time for everyone to take a look at the Health Council's update. Okay, thank you for putting that up there, Melanie. Now for the Franklin County Prevention Coalition update. Jesse?
Our updates are taking the form of a newsletter, and when we meet in person, we'll have those printed. We can get some printed for you if you want to share them, but the newsletter is available on our website, and it was also emailed out. So we are going to save some time because we have a lot to cover today. So make sure you go back and take a look at that and see all the things that we're doing and our programs and some of our highlights. So.
Okay, I did have time to review the February newsletter, Jesse, and I was very excited to see all the things that you all have been doing in the past month. So great job, guys. Okay, new business. Our monthly spotlight this month is Bennett's Pharmacy, and that is Lisa Wallace. Is Lisa on with us today? Check the chat here. Yeah, Lisa is signed in. Lisa, can you hear us?
Maybe we can come back to her. I know that she's probably joining and she stays pretty busy, so she might have to walk away for a second.
Okay, so not a problem. We will go. Well, okay. Okay, we'll go on to the Southern Tennessee Heart and Vascular Nurse Practitioner, Heather Hayden.
Hey, this is Sky. I think that Heather has a short PowerPoint. So whoever has access, if they could give access for Heather to share her screen, that would be great.
She should have it.
Great, thank you.
My name is Heather Hayden. I am a nurse practitioner at Southern Tennessee Heart and Vascular and have been with them for going on 2 years. So thank you guys for having me on here. I just have a PowerPoint here just talking about heart healthy living. I'll make this kind of quick because it sounds like you guys have a lot on your agenda today, and you guys can stop me at any time.
You're good. We gave you plenty of space.
Okay, perfect. And if you guys have any questions, I'll have an open forum at the end that you can ask away, okay? So let's just talk a little bit about heart disease. It is the leading cause of death in the United States for both men and women. I'm going to talk a little bit about 4 types of heart disease. Coronary artery disease, this affects the blood flow. And as you can see in this picture, this is plaque buildup, this is cholesterol buildup, arrhythmias, irregular heartbeats, congestive heart failure. This can be a fluid overload or a pump problem with your heart. And then valvular disease. You've got 4 main valves and sometimes they don't want to open and close correctly. So when we talk about heart disease in general, these are the types of problems that are causing death in our communities. So kind of an overview and where we're going to what we're going to kind of discuss. I want everybody to understand the risks, have regular blood pressure and cholesterol checks, choosing a heart healthy diet, aiming for a healthy weight, managing stress, getting regular physical activity, quit smoking if you've started, and having a good sleep pattern. And we'll go over all of these in our slides here later. So big thing, understanding your risks. There are modifiable risk factors and there's non-modifiable risk factors. So the modifiable ones are the ones that you can change. Keeping a well-controlled blood pressure, following, a low cholesterol diet and keeping your cholesterol numbers in check. Being overweight, you can modify that. Having pre-diabetes and diabetes, you can change some of your eating habits and keeping a good weight. Don't smoke, that's one thing you can modify. And living a sedentary lifestyle, you can always change that. So the non-modifiable risk factors are your family history. You can't change what your parents gave you. And then I can't change that you're going to be another year older. So your age, I can't change your gender. Women over 55 and men over 45 are at a higher risk factor for heart disease. So going into women and heart disease, women do have heart disease usually about 10 years later than men, and it's still the #1 cause of death for women. And the reason it's about 10 years later is because women go through menopause at about 50, 52 years of age. And they're more likely to get heart disease due to the drop in the estrogen hormone levels. Women that have hysterectomies at a young age are also more likely to have a higher risk for heart disease at a younger age. Women that have preeclampsia during childbirth, this is high blood pressure during pregnancy. It raises the risk of coronary artery disease because of the high blood pressure. And unfortunately, this is not something you can control. But after you get diagnosed with this is something that you need to continue to monitor throughout your life. And also, women have different symptoms. Fatigue level, shortness of breath, sweating, pain in the neck, back, or jaw. We don't have those classic chest pain symptoms as men do. And men in heart disease, again, they tend to have the typical symptoms: shortness of breath with exertion, chest pain, discomfort, tightness in the chest, an elephant sitting on the chest, pain in that left arm. They can sometimes have unexplained pain in the neck, back, and jaw, and dizziness and fainting. Biggest thing with men is do not ignore these symptoms, seek medical attention. Blood pressure and cholesterol screenings. Everybody should have regular yearly screenings of their blood pressure and cholesterol, usually with their primary care providers. And if it's elevated, you should have these more regular. Biggest thing is knowing your numbers. New guidelines came out a couple years back where a normal blood pressure is under 130 for the top number and 90 for the bottom number. So that's what we're kind of focusing on. Also, cholesterol levels. You want to know your cholesterol numbers. Your total cholesterol should be under 200, triglycerides under 160. Your LDL, which is your bad cholesterol, we want it under 100 unless you've had a heart event, and then we really want to drive that under 70. Your HDL is your good cholesterol. We want to keep that in between 40 and 60. So let's talk about heart healthy foods so we can get to those good cholesterols. So fruits and vegetables, always really good to eat those to help with the cholesterol. Whole grains, fat-free, low-fat dairy, oils and foods that are high in monounsaturated and polysaturated fats. And these consist of salmon and trout, seeds, avocados. I want you guys to get some good protein-rich foods. Again, fish, lean meats like chicken. I really tell my patients to stay away from the beef and the pork because they are just loaded with fats. Eggs are good. I know you'll hear kind of mixed reviews on the yolks of the eggs, but as long as you're not eating, 12 a day, eggs are okay. Nuts, seeds are good, and then legumes, the beans. So foods you want to limit. Sodium. The average American gets about 4,500 milligrams of sodium per day, which is way too much. So we do recommend getting under 2,000 milligrams a day, especially if you have high blood pressure. If you ever have other heart disease like heart failure, we usually recommend getting under about 1,500 milligrams. Everybody needs it, just not as much as we're getting. Saturated fats, these are your animal fats. This is your chicken skin. I take the skin off the meat. So eating leaner, lower fat, skinless meats is what I recommend. Low fat dairy. Your trans fats, these are your partially hydrogenated oils. This is in some desserts, your Cool Whip, microwave popcorn, frozen pizza, stick margarine, and coffee creamers. I know some coffee creamers have the more natural sugar and plain cream, but some of those fake coffee creamers have this in it. Added sugars. Here in the South, we tend to drink our sugars. So this is your soft drinks. These are your teas, your sun drops, your fruit drinks, and your alcoholic drinks. Also snacks and sweets. Stay away from your cakes, your pies, your cookies, ice cream, candies, chips, everything that we love. Alcohol. Alcohol adds calories to your diet, which can cause obesity. It can also raise blood sugar and triglycerides. Alcohol tends to reverse the blood pressure medicines that you are taking, if you do take any. It can worsen heart failure, and then it raises the risk of cancer. Another thing, we want to focus on a healthy weight. A normal BMI for somebody is between 18.5 and 24.9. This is based on height, weight, and gender. If you're underweight, usually you're below that 18.5. Overweight, above the 25, and if you're obese, you're above 30 for a BMI. Healthy weight, some of the risks of being overweight, the more you weigh, the more likely you can develop heart disease because it causes high blood pressure. It can cause type 2 diabetes, and it can cause breathing problems. And one thing that we have noticed, if your waist circumference is greater than 40 in men and greater than 35 in women, we kind of correlate that with heart disease and diabetes. So managing stress, we all have it. You know, what we've seen is that research suggests that when you have an emotionally upset event, you know, sometimes it can cause anger. This can trigger a heart attack. Stress can contribute to high blood pressure. It can contribute to other heart disease factors. Some ways people cope with stress is drinking, which we talked about, that can cause heart disease. Using, you know, illicit drugs, smoking, overeating, all of these are not the healthy ways in managing your stress. So some of the ways to manage stress: you can talk with a professional counselor, you can practice meditation. This can be yoga, being physically active. There's so many things that, you know, being physically active can do for your heart. You know, you can talk with friends, family, community, you know, have a good church support group. So those are just some ways you can manage stress. So regular physical activity. This helps with losing weight. This helps with just your physical fitness, your shortness of breath that you might have. This can help with that. Regular physical activity lowers heart disease risk factors, such as lowering your LDL, which is your bad cholesterol. It can help increase your HDL, which is your good cholesterol. Lowers stress, improves mental health, and it lowers risk factors for other conditions such as type 2 diabetes, depression, and cancer. Quitting smoking. I think this is probably the hardest thing for our patients to do. I've never smoked, so I couldn't tell you how hard it is, but smoking increases the risk of heart disease and heart attack, and can worsen other heart disease risk factors. You know, secondhand smoking, this includes that. Vaping is not an alternative to, you know, smoking, or it's not a good alternative to quit smoking. And not just smoking, but all tobacco products increase your risk for heart disease. So this is your pipes, this is your cigars, this is chewing tobacco. All of this increases your risk for heart disease. Another thing is getting enough good quality sleep. Adults 18 and older are recommended about 7 to 9 hours of sleep, but most people get under 7. Sleeping helps heal and repair your heart and blood vessels. It helps maintain a healthy balance of hormones that make you not hungry and full. Sleep helps support healthy growth and development. It helps support a healthy immune system. And a lack of good quality sleep can actually raise the risk of heart disease, obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, and stroke. People with sleep apnea, you know, they're at a high risk for heart disease. So a couple of things that you can do to help sleep better, you know, spend time outside every day. That sunshine, good quality exercise, being physically active, avoiding nicotine and caffeine, avoiding heavy, large meals within a couple hours of bedtime. Alcoholic drinks also can make that worse. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day will help with your sleep habits. Using the hour before bedtime for avoiding exercise and bright light, so television, taking a hot bath or using relaxation techniques before bed are good things, and then keeping your bedroom quiet, cool, and dark. So that's pretty much all I have. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Does anyone have any questions for Heather?
I got a question, Tabitha.
Okay.
You said the tobacco products, they raise your risk for of developing heart disease. What about nicotine itself? Does that, I know it's a carcinogen, but does that raise your risk of heart disease also?
So it is the nicotine that's in it. So what happens is when you inhale or chew tobacco or whatever it is you might do with the nicotine, that constricts your blood vessels. So if you already have a blockage, that's only going to make that blockage worse. So yes, it is the nicotine in those tobacco products. Great question.
Anyone else have a question? Just want to remind everyone to mute your background noise, please. If you're
There's a
not-
question in the chat. Any tips for heart healthy children?
So that's also a great thing. Everything that I kind of talked about today, I kind of focus towards adults, but everything still applies. You want children to start good, healthy eating habits now. You don't want them to be obese because the diabetes risk factor is, it's killing us in the long run. So if we can prevent diabetes, if we can keep their weight down, of course, if we can prevent them from starting smoking or starting nicotine or tobacco products, that's going to prevent them from having heart disease in the long run. And one thing that we are seeing are some of the younger generation, our children, they already have high cholesterol in their teens. So that's not a good thing to start with. So promote exercise, whether it's they get on a sports team or they start, walking with their parents or walking with an adult. Those are great things to do. So, and another thing is the healthy eating habits, fruits and vegetables, push them. Lean meats, try not to eat out at fast food. Great question.
Heather, I'm sorry, Heather, we definitely appreciate your presentation. It was very informative. Thank you so much. Jesse, is there anything else you want to add or ask?
No, if you could give host back to Melanie.
That. Do I have to give it to her?
Yes.
How do I do that?
Top right of your screen.
In the
three
top-
little buttons.
There's 3 little buttons in the top right of your screen. Or if you go to like where Melanie's name, Melanie Morrow, and then 3 little buttons that pop up, you just click on that and it says make host.
Let's try. All right, yeah, I don't see how to do that. I don't have those 3 little buttons up in my.
Okay, so if you put your mouse over Melanie Morrow's name, or mine if that's easier, and then there are a little blue box that pop up in the corner of like her box, and then you click on those and it'll say make host.
No, hold on. There you go. Thank you, guys.
That should be you.
Thank you so much, Heather. Okay, we'll go back to the monthly spotlight. Has Lisa been able to make it on?
She is.
Yes.
Okay, so welcome, Lisa, to the Franklin County Prevention Coalition, Franklin County Health Council monthly meeting. And congratulations on being the monthly spotlight for Bennett's Pharmacy.
Thank you. Can you hear me, Tabitha?
I can.
Okay, thanks. I'll just give you a little bit of background from Bennett's Pharmacy, and I apologize I don't have a camera. We've been here since 1958. We were a family-owned pharmacy. My grandfather started it, and then my mother, and then she and I became partners, and now it's me since she has passed away. Back in 1978, we were the first pharmacy in Franklin County to get a computer, which was kind of a big deal. So we've been using that ever since, and I apologize for my ineptness on the Zoom stuff. We do most Medicare D plans and TRICARE. and we carry a large range of glucose meters and diabetic supplies. We do a lot of DME. We do a limited version of DME, which we do nebulizer medicines, ostomy supplies, transplant medicine, and diabetic medicines, and meters and strips. We do offer MTM, which is medication therapy management and adherence monitoring. That's what a lot of the people who have Medicare Part D plans, that's part of the payment issue with that. So we'll call a person and go over their meds, look for allergies, any interactions or trouble they may be having with medicine. And our techs may call patients and just ask them, make sure they're taking their cholesterol medicine, their blood sugar medicine, their diabetes medicine. Those are some of the three main ones they look at. We also offer a synchronization program. That's where we try to sync their medicines to one-day pickup to make it convenient so they can only have one trip to town. There's a few things like ointments, creams, liquids, or pain meds that cannot be synced, but it helps cut down their trips to the pharmacy. We do offer a variety of vaccines, which include flu, pneumonia, shingles, hepatitis A and B, and tetanus. We signed up as a pandemic provider with the state of Tennessee because Franklin County is considered an underserved county. We are able to give corona vaccines like the health department is on the same county phase that they're vaccinating. We also are known for having a lot of bandages. People who've had surgery usually will come here to find specialized bandages that they need for after surgery. We can special order for different bandages that are hard to find. We do offer compression stockings that are sometimes hard to find. We don't bill insurance for these items, but we do have compression socks or diabetic socks. There is a pharmacy in Nashville called Williams Surgical that will bill for insurance if you have stasis dermatitis or weeping legs. Those are another diagnosis that can be billed. And we carry a lot of hard to find items for those bedridden patients, things like shampoo caps, throwaway bed pads or reusable bed pads, pulse oximeters, hospital gowns, a lot of things like that. We also have a full line of sports medicine item like braces that are sold over the counter, not with a prescription. Those type items are easily retrievable on a weekend. And one of our big things is we do delivery. We deliver to Winchester, Deckard, and Cowan with no delivery fee. We do have one facility that's a group home in Huntland that if it's after a certain mile radius, we may charge for delivery. But we try to, delivery is free for Winchester, Deckard, and Cowan, and a lot of the older people take advantage of that. We have a drink called a Bloody Marty, so while you're waiting on your script, you can get a Bloody Marty, and we have a soda fountain that's usually always open. Today I only have 3 people show up to work, so the soda fountain's closed. But other than that, we're usually here most of the time. And our hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 8. Saturday, we're here from 8 to 6. And Sunday, we're here 8 to 11 and 1 to 6. We close so people can go to church. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell of what we have to offer.
I would like to add that, you know, as a coalition, of course, we're different organizations that maintain our own identity, all working towards keeping kids off drugs. That's our purpose. And Bennett's Pharmacy has been one of our strongest partners, always willing to help with spreading the message and being there and coming to the meetings. And I know how busy you are, and that you take that hour a month to come and join us is absolutely phenomenal. In our newsletter, again, that was emailed out. We do have it on, you can access it on our website, fcpctn.org. But all of the information about Bennett's is in that newsletter as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for sharing that about Bennett's Pharmacy. And I too appreciate everything that you all have done over the years for the Franklin County Prevention Coalition, especially during the time of our Stop Meth Now campaign. and working alongside us with that. So again, thank you for your continued support of the coalition's efforts. So now on the new business, we have the University of the South Service Internship Director, Robin Michaels.
I'm here.
Okay.
Thank you. And there was a PowerPoint. Is it possible for Melanie to share?
She's getting it and takes just
Okay,
a second.
awesome. Thank you. And while she's getting that set up, I'll just start by saying thank you for letting me come and talk to the whole group. I don't plan on taking too much time, but this came out of a conversation with Jesse. Franklin County Prevention Coalition is one of our partners, and that's new for us this year. It's been great. But one thing that she said is it's a great platform for us to be able to talk about our office, which is the Office of Civic Engagement at the University of the South, the things that we do and the ways that people might consider partnering with us. So, so Melanie, are you going to operate the PowerPoint?
Yes, to follow
Okay.
your cues.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that I took this PowerPoint from something that we had. It's been kind of a crazy week, and I'll try to incorporate it into what I was going to say as best I can. But this slide right here gives you a sense of a lot of our main programming. Again, we're the Office of Civic Engagement at the University of the South. So I work primarily with Bonner and Canale service interns. So you can see service internships, both Bonner and Canale, but that's where we pay students to work out in the community. They work about 8 hours a week. We also do leadership development training for them, and we have them working with about 25 different projects, and the projects are in Franklin, Grundy, Marion, and Coffee County primarily. But one thing that Jesse and I talked about was it'd be good for us to actually have more Franklin County community partners. We also have, and you can see on this slide, we have immersion experiences. So we do break trips, and that's both kind of local and global. We have an AmeriCorps Vista program, which Jesse also has a Vista working with her, and we have about 16 Vistas that do year-long sort of like domestic Peace Corps placements where they work with community partners for full-time for a year at a time. We're partnered with the South Cumberland Community Fund, which is a philanthropic foundation and primarily gives funds to organizations on top of the South Cumberland Plateau, because there are a lot of organizations up here that kind of fall in the gap. They don't get funded from a lot of different county organizations and community foundations, and so trying to support them. We do democratic engagement, so that's bipartisan, trying to get out the vote and get the younger population to be more civically engaged. We do service work connected with classes. So if someone was interested in having research connected to work that you're doing, perhaps you were wanting to do some data collection, data analysis, we could look at exploring that. And then we're doing a lot of dialogue cross difference, where we are trying to have difficult conversations and facilitate difficult conversations where it's not an us versus them, a debate where one is right and one is wrong, but really seeking to understand across differences more and more. Let's see what's on the next slide. I actually can't remember off the top of my head. We can kind of go, let's go past this. That's my dad, by the way, the back of his head in that picture. I just love that, how that just happened. We keep going. I'm going to get you to where I can show you where our staff are, so you can see who the different people are that you might be involved with. So keep going. Sorry about that. Bear with me for a second. Keep going. And this year, I should also say, for people who might want to be partnered with us, keep going through that one too. We are actually not allowed to have our students leave the domain. So our students who are working with Jesse, let's go past that one too, are actually doing work remote. So this is actually our staff, but I'm going to blow past this page too, so you can actually see who works with what programs. Oh yeah. No one's in that office right now, but that's where our office is in the university. Most of us, I'm in my own house right now. So here's our vision: active global citizens advancing economic, social, and environmental well-being. We do have health and wellness as one of our strategic goals, along with education and economic development. So that's kind of what we're working towards through all the different programs that we have. Let's go to the next one. And this is our mission. I mean, it's how do we get to that place with the vision? And so it's knowledge, resources, relationships. That's where you guys come in to advance the economic, social, and environmental well-being of our communities. Go to the next one. And I just want to say, we can skip this one as well, that relationships are really foundational to what we do. I think coming into this work, so I actually started the Office of Civic Engagement in 2011 with Jim Peterman. And we keep it on this one for just a second. But we started in 2011, and what we realized pretty quickly was that building those relationships is an investment and takes time, and the university has not always been a good neighbor. We've got generations and generations of the university really being quite isolated and not being committed to having sustained collaborative relationships. And I guess I just want to say that our office is very invested in that, but we're doing a lot of work to repair those relationships that have, been damaged over generations. And one of the things that we realize is that we want to be an anchor institution. So it's a place-based entity like a university or a hospital. We're deeply connected to our surroundings. We're deeply connected to this county and this plateau and this place. And how can we start to connect our resources with the community around us to support all of our work together, that we're in it together, that we're not an isolated institution, completely separate from the communities around us. Let's go to the next one. And I promise I won't take up too much time. I know you got other things to talk about. We go past this too. That's just to show that we're working in Franklin and Grundy and Marion and Coffee. So this is the VISTA program. It had Nikki Hamilton. I bet a lot of y'all know Nikki. She's just changed positions, but through that partnership with SCCF, we have nonprofit capacity building. So they actually do trainings for our partners around nonprofit management. We have a grants program, and then we have the AmeriCorps Vista, and we're actually looking into developing an AmeriCorps service program, not the Vista, but like the direct service AmeriCorps program as well. And they're going to be hiring for that position in the next 6 months. Let's go to the next page. They also have, I don't know how many of y'all know, y'all probably all know Katie Goforth. I feel like she's really well connected to everybody in the communities around us, but she runs our VISTA program, and Vicki Borscher also works with her. And they also do the USDA summer meal program as well. So they have 14 sites over the summer where they deliver meals for kids throughout the entire summer. Let's go to the next page. We have a class that's connected to, we have about $30,000 a year that we're able to give out, and it's connected to a class where students get trained on philanthropy. They learn about the first semester, and organizations apply for funds and they award them and then follow up and track and the progress of those grants. So that's another thing. We'll go to the next one. This is me, service internships. I don't want y'all to think that this is the only thing we have to offer, but it is something that we do have. We have about 40 Bonners and close to 20 Canali students. So I mean, a cohort of 55 to 60 students that I'm trying to place with different organizations. The idea is that they're doing capacity building work. They're helping you guys do something you can't do without them. So that might be, we have an organization, one of our groups is business development and marketing team. They do website development. They do social media campaign support. They're doing content creation and their marketing materials. And then I've got a student now who's wanting to develop, help develop business plans for organizations as well. But that group actually can help any of our organizations, but then we also have students who are partnered with specific organizations too. And so they devote their time working on specific projects. So go to the next one. We do have and the ways that this might interest y'all, we do have break trips, right? But we also have summer civic engagement internships. So if y'all wanted to apply to have a student working with you for the summer, and then they'd be paid out of a fund from our office to work with someone full-time during the summer. But those applications, if you want those, would need to be submitted earlier. Students are applying by March 1st. So at this point in time, I'd say if you know a student and you want to get them to apply for something, they can go ahead and apply for it without you guys having set up an internship. And then we've got potential funding for that. But we can talk more about that later. Let me go to the next one. This is how do we connect courses and classes to civic engagement and to service. And so this is, again, if you want to do more community-based research, you needed help with data, you needed a class to work with you on those kinds of things, that's a possibility. It's we do have faculty that we regularly work with, so it's something we could explore. Let's go to the next one. Actually, don't know how many more we have. Oh yeah, this is the Yay Swanee's Vote. This is civic democracy at work, trying to get the younger generation to recognize why it matters to be civically engaged and to vote. And then let's see if there's one more. Oh, and then this is the dialogue across difference. So that's primarily right now on campus, but there's the potential for us to train students, because they are being trained right now, to help facilitate difficult conversations in the community as well. So it's just something to be thinking of that we have there that's offered. So that's kind of like a quick overview of what we have and what's available. I also shared with Melanie and Jesse a Google form. It's a community partner inquiry form. It's going to be up on our website soon, but I wanted to go ahead and share it with you all now. If you're interested in being connected with us in some way, what I would say is, and maybe we can share this link in the chat and everybody can have it, but you just fill out this inquiry form, and what it does is it begins the conversation for office. So we say, gosh, do they need a summer internship? Do they need someone year round? Do they need a VISTA, something that's like more deeper and sustained? Do they need to be connected with faculty and a class, or something along those lines? So I would say, if you want to think about ways that we might be partnered together, then let's start with a community partner inquiry form and then go from there. And then I just want to see if anybody had questions for me. And thanks again thanks Melanie for helping me with all that and for giving me the space to talk.
Do we have access? This is Patricia with the Franklin County Faith-Based Recovery Coalition. Did you provide contact information already?
I didn't. No, and I can put that in chat.
Okay.
So I'll put my contact information. And then what I would just say also is, if you want to find, actually, I can only, it's only letting me do direct message to Melanie for some reason in the chat. So I guess I'll put my stuff there. But I would say use that Google form, because that will help you get connected to our entire office to figure out where we should go next from there. But let me go ahead and put my stuff in here too. Thanks for asking that. Melanie, I just sent it to you for the chat. Any other questions that y'all have? I know it's a lot of information all at once.
Yep, 28 people on here.
Yeah. And you've got other stuff to talk about, so I don't want to take up too much time.
I would like to say just how easy it has been working with the University of the South. We work with Katie Goldforth with our VISTA, and then working with Robin. And the students that we've gotten have been phenomenal. They are accountable, they have knowledge, they are dedicated. And, working with that younger age group, you don't always find that, but I can say that everyone that I've worked with from the University of the South has been on point and professional and exactly what we're looking for. And I'm so excited for this partnership, because we really have been able to do more this year than we have previously. And then there's, working with them has been a big part of that. So if that's something that, you think outside the box and how can you connect, how can you do more, this is a great program to reach out to and to see if there's something that would fit.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. It's been a gift for us as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Robin, for sharing that with
Thanks.
us and everything that's going on with the University of the South and the opportunity to get some of those interns and AmeriCorps Vistas working in the community.
Yeah, thank you.
Community drug trends, Jesse, do you have an update on that?
I do. And first, before I get into that, if this is your first time coming to our coalition meeting, send me a message in the chat. I had put out on the radio that if you come and check us out, that we'll have a special something for you. So if this is your very first time coming to one of our coalition meetings, send me a message so that we can get that to you. So I'm going to jump on my soapbox again. You guys have seen me get a little irate with some of the things we see in the county, and I think quite a few of you are going to join me in this. I went to just one of our stores in the area, and this is in a store that's a hot spot for bad things. It's really family oriented, and I found these. Remember those candy cigarettes? They disappeared around 2016. We haven't heard a whole lot from them, but now they're back. And instead of candy, they're bubble gum. And y'all, this is awful. When you open them up, oh, I just ripped my package. Look, they even have filters. Can y'all see that? And oh, look, it looks lit. With the bubble gum in there, and it's disgusting. I don't know how else to say that. I can tell you the store I got them from. I just picked them up, and I'm like, oh, I remember these, and I went to buy them. And even the cashier and the three people that were, like the person I just checked out and the two behind me, were all negative about these things. Like, oh, that's just what we need for our kids to see, and I can't believe they're back. But they were placed right next to the register, right above the M&Ms. So what are we going to do? I can get mad, I can say things, but it's really going to come to the community to say, we don't want this around here. They're legal. They're banned in most countries, but they are legal in the US. The biggest manufacturer comes out of New Jersey. Tennessee does not have a ban on these. So there's a ban on novelty lighters in Tennessee, but there is not a ban on candy cigarettes. I don't know what it's going to take to make them disappear, but it's going to take a lot more voices than mine. Let me show you what else I found. I was scrolling through Facebook and this popped up on my newsfeed. So, hey, they work for a medical marijuana company, and they're looking for people to work at home. Now, I'm sure this is a scam. I didn't look into it. We see these things all the time. But where have we come to in society where we can just promote a medical marijuana company in a state that doesn't have medical marijuana? Where have we come to where this is okay? The people that commented, a couple of them were like, hey, I'm in Tennessee. I don't think this is legal. But most of them were like, hey, pick me. I want more information. I want to make $22 to work at home part-time. It concerns me. This lets me know, what kind of uphill battle that we're going to fight when marijuana becomes legal here. I'm sure that it's been working its way across the country, and I don't have a plan. I don't have an idea what we can do about it, but I can tell you, I can't change this on my own. These are things that we see. Go ahead. And then the next one, also scrolling through Facebook, and I get these ads that pop up. Let's get a new puppy for our kiddo, and let's get him a Budweiser toy. I applaud companies for, doing something unique. I'm not opposed to alcoholic beverages or to companies for, trying to find some unique space to advertise. I'm opposed to continuing to create a culture where young people drink. And so we make toys. We wouldn't be able to go to the toy store, the toy aisle, and find a Budweiser toy. That's illegal. So why are we giving it to our puppies? Why, how is this okay? Barkweiser, it says. So again, I'm not okay with that. And these are ads that are popping up in my news feed. What happens if I was under the age of 21? Would those still pop up? I don't know. These are just some trends that I see that concern me. Anyone have thoughts, ideas?
Jesse, have you done any environmental scanning of the convenience stores to find out who all has those candy cigarettes?
No, I found these last Wednesday. And so I haven't had a chance to get out. We end up going out about this time to check out signage. So we'll be looking at that.
That would be a good idea to find out who all is selling those and promoting those. And then that way, then we can start targeting those stores to ask them to remove those items from their shelves. I can't imagine them being a big seller, but I'm surprised they haven't developed something that looks more like a vape pen to be selling
That's coming.
than a candy cigarette. But it is 2021, so the filter on there definitely makes it look realistic.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Do we have any community partner announcements today? Anything going on with your organization that you would like to share with the whole group today?
Oh, somebody got something. Sorry.
Well, no, this is not a new announcement. I didn't know if Dustin wanted to say something on this, but we do thank everybody that helped us with our care packages. Dustin, did you want to mention anything about that, since it might be some of these people that are on the Zoom? We thank you from the coalition for all the packages, everything. We had lots of donations for that. I'll let Dustin because he and Matt worked the project mostly for the coalition.
Yeah, so with the Faith Coalition, with the project we did with the Care Bag project for the recovery housing and inpatient treatment centers that we have here in the county and directly outside of our county, we took the bags to pass them out at the centers, the three that we did here in the county. We did Mosaic Recovery, we did R3 Recovery, we did Breaking Chains, and everyone that was there was really appreciative of the bags. I got a message from the people at Breaking Chains this morning telling us how everyone there really loved it. So we appreciate everybody for everything they did to help. We appreciate all the donations we got, with monetary donations and donations of supplies. Everything went to help someone in recovery, and will continue to go to help someone in recovery. We still have supplies left over. We still have money left over. So we're going to continue to buy supplies, and that way we have stuff there at the office to give people when they come into the office if they need something. And then we're planning on doing another a drive here pretty soon to give to the houses that are outside of the immediate Franklin County area, like Coffee County and Bedford and Lincoln County. So thank you everybody that helped out with that. Everyone at the houses really loved it.
Matt, did you want to add anything before? I don't want to leave them out, because they really worked hard to help us pull that project together. And I'm one of those that believes to give credit where it's due. So they worked hard. We had a wonderful team with the coalition. Don't get me wrong, because we worked, but they really worked. Thank you, Matt and Dustin.
All right. Any other community partner announcements?
Hi, this is, oh,
Oops.
sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead.
Okay, well, this is Tech Sergeant Empathy Gear, and I just wanted to let you guys know that we are opening up the trailer, the Stashed Away trailer. So if you haven't scheduled anything, or I know like everything's kind of up in the air with COVID and stuff, but starting in March, we're able to get that out and about into the communities. So if you have an event coming up and you want us to come, just let me know.
And who was this?
It's Tech Sergeant Empathy Guerin from the Counter Drug.
Laurel, did you have something you needed to announce?
Yeah, just real quick, Isaiah 117 house update. Just want to make sure that everybody has gone and liked the Facebook page, Isaiah 117 house, Coffee, Franklin, Grundy County. And we're doing our Spread the Love event this month, where we're putting hearts and signs in people's yards for a donation. So if you want it, you might have seen some of those around town. And the house is, they're starting to put up the, do the framing. So we're rolling along, and thanks everybody.
Any other community partner announcements? So under announcements and upcoming events, tomorrow is Random Acts of Kindness Day. So if you're able and safely to get out, tomorrow would be a good day to do a random act of kindness for someone. If not, try to do something for someone from the safety of your home. National Quit Week is February the 21st through the 26th. That is with the Tennessee Department of Health, and that is tobacco free. And there's additional information there. For being a cigarette smoker increases your risk of severe illness from COVID-19, as well as they have the vape information there. So we appreciate that. And the Tennessee Quit line number is on there. National Day of Hope, March the 10th. Franklin County Chamber of Commerce Business Expo is going to be on April the 8th. This is always a good partnering event in the community. So, and it's going to be at the Southern Middle Tennessee Pavilion, it says. So April the 8th from 4:30 until 7:30. Admission will be $5. So I encourage everyone to go out to that. The next meeting will be on March the 15th at noon. And look forward to everyone joining us for that. In the meantime, Jesse, Melanie, is there anything else we need to add to the meeting today? We're almost right on time here.
No, that's it. Make sure you check out our website, fcpctn.org, throughout the month, and you can see all the things that we're doing as we're doing them and see which way that you can connect. We cannot do this work with through Franklin County without your help and support. So we definitely appreciate each and every one of you.
Okay, wonderful. And if it is your first time joining the Coalition Health Council meeting today, again, be sure to reach out to Jesse. I think there's something special for you out there. Okay, March the 5th, 2021, at noon, we will resume the Franklin County Prevention Coalition Health Council meeting via Zoom, and that information will be coming out. All right. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting today?
I make a motion.
Okay, can I get a second?
Barbara looks like she's second.
Barbara's down there seconding, and Eric as well. So thank you all, and y'all have a great day. Again, stay safe and warm, and stay inside if you can.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
You read emails.